Hi, good morning, everybody. My name is Justin Agustin, but you can call me Tin. And I will continue to discuss our topic on how a news article is written. Since we have finished the first part of our topic on how to write a news article, where we discuss the initial step of data gathering and the components of a news story, specifically the lead and the body, let me now share with you the final part of a news article or a news story, which is the conclusion or the end of the story. Now, my first question is, how do we end our story? Many of us have different ways to conclude our stories, as we have a unique writing style. Some might finish their narratives with a question form, a summary, or other techniques. In Module 2, I will be discussing several methods that can enhance our storytelling and make our articles more engaging. But first, what is a story ending? Story ending is the last thought, information, and impression that you will leave to your readers. Typically, this serves to conclude and summarize the key points that have been discussed throughout your article, throughout your story. And it's very essential for providing closure and ensuring the reader understands the ultimate significance of the story. It also ties everything together from lead, body, down to the conclusion. And the end of your story will also speak in behalf of your whole story in a way that prompts a reader to think critically about the content and form their own responses. That's what we call effective ending the story as the readers continue to respond on your article. So basically, story ending is ito yung pinakabuod ng ating artikulo, pinakabuod ng ating istorya. In our discussion, we are going to review the good ways or proper ways in ending our story. And I added some bad ways to avoid in ending our story that is based from Mr. Mark Grabowski, a distinguished professor at Adelphi University in New York. So let's start. Summary ending. A summary ending wraps up the story with the most important things. This is very common method for including concluding a story where summary of the main points is presented, and it serves to encapsulate the story and provide closure. And this is very usual for everybody, most especially sa lahat ng ating mga journalists, wherein all the content from lead down to the conclusion concludes in our conclusion or in our ending. That's what we call summary ending. It encapsulates the story of our article, of our information that have been discussed throughout our story. For example, the entire news here revolves around three individuals for hacking incidents targeting Facebook accounts, bank and government websites, and government funds. Although they were not named, the conclusion mentions the conclusion mentions them generally. For example, that one is from a data officer from Manila Bulletin, another is from a cybersecurity researcher, and the third is graduating student. So during the press conference, the authorities did not disclose their identity, as is written and says in our conclusion, wherein those arrested are data officer from Manila Bulletin, cybersecurity researcher, and a graduating student. And until the press conference, still they were not identified, and they were masks, dark glasses, hoodies, and caps. Next is we have climax ending. The writer focuses on the peak of the event. So it's where the story reaches its peak tension or conflict, leading into a decisive moment that determines the outcome. This moment often involved, yeah, in a critical decision, confrontation, or revelation that resolve the main conflict. For example, a climax from lead down to body down to conclusion is consistent. For example, these news articles highlight the Department of Social Welfare and Development, or DSWD, campaign encouraging Filipinos to recognize the importance of Family Day as part of the support for Presidential Decree number 326. The narrative focuses on the DSWD's promotion of Family Day, and in the conclusion, as says here, for families and the DSWD personnel, the agency will also a DSWD Family Day on September 26th. And it notes that they will also be hosting their own Family Day on September 26, 2024. So the consistency of the information is until the end of the story. So it highlights the Department of Social Welfare being the host of a family day, and then DSWD will also conduct here their family day. Next is Stinger. The writer ends with something totally unsuspected by the reader. They often used to leave readers with a sudden twist or shock. I think this is a very interesting way of ending our story. For example, this story discusses a teenager in Georgia who killed four individuals, including two classmates and two teachers, along with the nine injured schoolmates. Throughout the narrative, it is reported that he brought a gun to school, but the conclusion reveals that his father had allowed him access to the weapon. Additionally, the father has pending charges for murder and child cruelty. All right. Next, we have an ending. It purposely ends on a limb, creating suspense and interest follow up. All right. For example, this story addresses the misuse of COVID-19 funds, highlighting protests by healthcare workers demanding their unpaid benefits. And it was revealed that the benefits intended for them were instead used to purchase overpriced protective equipment. In the conclusion, it is discovered that the supplier of the overpriced equipment, a Chinese national, has a criminal record and arrest warrant in Taiwan. So the follow-up question or the follow-up story for this is why the government purchased overpriced equipment from a Chinese national who has criminal record and arrest warrant in Taiwan. All right. Next, bad endings to avoid. Of course, it is based from Mark Grabowski, a professor from Adelphi University in New York. And the first one is avoid literal summary endings. For example, in conclusion, the LGU conducts this activity to provide free legal service for all their constituents. Avoid using literal phrases that indicate this is a summary of the story. For example, in our example, in conclusion, all right, the other term might be in summary. In the end, let's avoid using that literal phrases that indicate that this is the story or this is the end of our story. Next, avoid sermonette endings. It also lets avoid expressing our comments or opinions in straightforward stories, as well as delivering sermons in our narrative. In writing a new story, we need facts. We don't need your opinion. All right. For example, whether you lack experience or not, you don't know the right people. Job hunting isn't going to get any easier for fresh college graduates anytime soon. But if you keep searching and applying, someone should eventually hire you. All right. This is purely a expression or statement of a writer. So let's avoid sermon endings. Let's avoid commentary ending. All right. Now, our next topic is the copy format. This would be a refresher for everybody and be na be a knowledgeable enough. We are knowledgeable enough for this topic, and I think this is just a refresher for everybody. What is copy format? Copy format articles that are submitted for publication are following the standard format. So here are the standard methods for submitting articles for publication. All articles should be neatly typewritten on a short band paper. All right. Next is type lines double space. Well, the purpose of double space is to let the editors uh, put a proofread notes when it comes to editing your article. Next, allow ample space for margin 1.5 inch on the top and 1 inch on the right, left, and bottom margins. In the first page, type your name on the left-hand corner of the first page, and below your name, type your date or the date of the article. And after that, after writing our name and date, write the slug lines of the articles below the date. Slug line is short description, short or brief explanation of your whole article. For example, I note here BSKE 2025. Then type the draft number on the right hand corner. For example, second draft. All right, on first page, start typing the text halfway down the page, leaving half of the page blank for editor's comment. Indent all paragraphs unlikely to seven consecutive. All right, to provide a cohesive and consistency of your article. Next is treat all paragraph as complete units. Do not separate lines of a paragraph, especially if only one or two lines are left on the page. At the bottom of the page, if there's a continuation, type more, all right, to indicate that there's still more for your story, okay? Type more in the end or at the bottom of your article on the first page, all right? And the succeeding page, we have type the slug line and the page number on the type right hand corner of the page. For example, my slug line a while is BSK 2025 slash the page of the article, all right? And the slug line, and after that writing the slug line, continue the story to five or down from the pages to down to number, all right? Next is if there's a story will not end on the page, type more at the bottom. If the story will end on the page, type end at the bottom of the page. So technically, if there's still another page for your article, type more. And if the story will end on the page, type N at the bottom of the page. All right, that's it, guys. This is a short, quick description or topic discussion about the ending of a story in the copy format. I hope you guys have a question for your queries and recommendation. Let's talk about this. Thank you very much and have a nice day.